Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of October 25th, 2017. So let's get right into it. First up we have Action Comics number 990. This is part 4 of the Oz Effect. So you can see the lenticular cover working right there. Yeah, Oz Effect has been okay. Some people have been kind of about it. I think it's just a good Superman story. I don't think it's knocking any socks off. But we'll see. I mean, the end is next issue, so it could just take a complete different turn. But I've been enjoying it for the most part. Action has been a really solid book. So, yep. Next up, we have Bloodshot Salvation in number 2. Bloodshot continues. I think Jeff Lemire is the writer on this. He's been doing a great job with the Bloodshot character. I've really enjoyed Bloodshot since he's picked it up. The only thing I'm not kind of happy with is Bloodshot keeps getting renamed and relaunched. I really wish Valiant would just stick to their guns and just keep the series going. The first Man OWar series was like 50 issues. That's good. Then they relaunched it. That's fine. But Bloodshot has been relaunched over and over again with new names and so on and so forth, and it's just been the continuing story from what was going before. So yeah. Otherwise, I like it. Next up, we have Batman the Merciless. This is part of the Dark Knight's Metal stuff. So yeah, if you have not been reading Dark Knight's Metal, I don't know what hole or rock you're living under. It's amazing stuff, and I highly, highly recommend it. I can't wait to see the one-shot on the Merciless. Next up, we have the seasonal book, and that's DC House of Horror. This is a one-shot from DC with some horror stories in it, with some DC characters, so I felt in the spirit, so I decided to pick it up. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 967. We continue A Lonely Place of Living, where Tim Drake apparently is Batman and uses guns and all this weird stuff. It's good. It's interesting. I'm curious to see where it goes. Next up, we have a new number 1 from Valiant, and that is Eternity number 1. Matt Kint's been doing a decent job on the stuff he's been writing for Valiant, so I'm curious to see what Eternity has in store. Next up is another metal tie-in, and that is for Flash number 33, Bats Out of Hell Part 1. I'm really excited to read this to see what goes on in this tie-in crossover thing. The first one was really good, so I'm curious to see how well this second part of the tie-in stuff does. Next up, we have Gotham City Garage number 2. This collects digital issues 3 and 4, or digital chapters 3 and 4 from Gotham City Garage. I've enjoyed the first issue. I actually read the second issue and enjoyed it, so we'll see where it goes. It's very Mad Maxy. Next up, we have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 31, Mind Games. Hal has basically been summoned by Hector Hammond and to save him, so I'm curious to see how that unfolds. Next up, we have Justice League of America number 17, Panic in the Microverse. I've been enjoying this series so far. It's had a couple hiccups, but overall Justice League of America is a decent book. And if you're curious about some off-tier Justice League's members, then check that one out. Next up, we have the Kumandi Challenge number 10 of 12. This one's wrapping up soon. I've enjoyed it so far. Most likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of my single issues when it finishes and get a nice trade when it's all collected. But it's really hard to give up that Tom King issue because it was really good. We'll see. Next up, we have Mother Panic number 12. I've read the issue already. It's okay, but I really don't think I'm going to continue with Mother Panic. It's just been a title, and I don't look forward to reading it every month. So most likely Mother Panic's going to drop off my pull list and move to my read list, which, oh well. Next up, we have Outcast number 31. Robert Kirkman's been doing a really good job with this series. I need to actually still check out the TV show, but yeah, Flash came back, and DC Legends came back, and Walking Dead came back, and yeah, I'm a single dad. I don't have much time to do stuff. I'm surprised I have enough time to do these. But it's for you guys. Next up, we have Saga 48. Saga is just a really solid, great book. I'm excited to read it every single month it comes out. So if you haven't read Saga, go get the first trade. It's amazing. Next up, we have Suicide Squad number 28, The Secret History of Task Force X. And I've enjoyed this so far. I'm curious to see where it goes. I looked in previews, and it looks like Sai Superior is going to be writing Suicide Squad. So, a little hesitant. Hopefully he can do something with the title and not completely butcher it or make it too crazy. So, fingers crossed. Next up, we have Teen Titans number 13. This starts the return of Kid Flash story arc. Teen Titans has been okay. It's again one of those books that I can probably at some point drop off my pull list. But so far I've enjoyed it. But we'll see where it goes from here. Next up, we have Wonder Woman 33, Times Past story arc in this one. Wonder Woman's been good after Rucka. Not as great as Rucka's, but really good, solid book. So if you're curious about Wonder Woman, I highly recommend picking up the first volume of the Rucka stuff in this Rebirth stuff, and continuing from there, because it's just a good book overall. Last up on the pull list is Man OWar number 8. This starts a new story arc called Emperor. So we'll see how that goes, but I've been enjoying the Man OWar stuff, so yeah, keep it coming. I did get to grab a couple of variants. One variant we were shorted the other week, so we finally got that back in, and that was for Detective Comics number 966, which means that I also picked up the Detective Comics variant for 967. Flash, of course, had a variant for number 33 for the metal tie-in, so I snagged that one up. Will Porcheo still doing the Suicide Squad ones. They're not the best, but it's Suicide Squad, and I'm a sucker. And then, of course, we have the beautiful Wonder Woman variants. Love those. They're just amazing. I did grab a couple graphic novels. The first one I grabbed was the Disney Tangled, the series. This is just a little Adventures Calling is the title of this. My daughter loves Rapunzel, so anytime I see Rapunzel stuff, I have to pick it up. So hopefully we will read it together at some point, or at some point in here when she's old enough, she'll read it on her own. And for fans of the 90s, and especially certain creators, the Wildstorm, A Celebration of 25 Years hardcover came out today. This collects a bunch of reprints of some Wildstorm stuff, plus some new material. But I would highly recommend picking this up if you are a Wildstorm fan, or Jim Lee fan, or just in general want a good dose of what Wildstorm is and was and all that stuff. But I'm really excited to crack this open and check it out. We also have this week, the wonderful Previews is out. It is issue 350 for November 17th. This is for stuff coming out in January of 2018. We get to see some of the new DC heroes that they're going to be releasing. It's a new age of heroes is what DC's calling it. Specifically the Terrifics here. There's Mr. Terrific, Phantom Girl, Plastic Man, and Metamorpho. It is so trolly, it's not even funny. Written by Jeff Lemire. I'm super excited for this series. There's a couple other series coming out in this new age of heroes, and they are Damage, The Immortal Men, The Silencer, Sideways, and am I forgetting one? I said Damage, I said Immortal Men, Terrific. Oh, Terrific's yeah, Terrific. The new number ones are going to come with a fold-out cover. The cover will actually open like a normal cover and then fold up and down to make a elongated vertical cover. It's the only one that they're doing. I think DC's doing it really well, and it's going to be $2.99. So don't be scared to try out a new book from DC come at the beginning of the year. I'm excited for Immortal Men, the Terrifics, Sideways, Damage, and The Silencer. I'll check them out, but of the 5, I'm really excited for Terrifics and The Immortal Men. So yeah, look out for those. In addition to previews, you will also be able to pick up your Marvel previews for Marvel Legacy. The Avengers No Surrender is in this one, and also Image Plus is the other thing that you can pick up if you get your previews magazine. I really wish Marvel would just put their previews back in previews, and Image would just stick with just having their stuff in previews. It's so frustrating. I did pick up another shirt this week. Finally came in, and this is from Dark Knight's Metal. It is Greg Capullo's cover to number 1, and bam, Dark Knight's Metal t-shirt right there. We've been selling a bunch of the concert style one. So if you still want those, as long as we can order them, we'll get them. You can order at comicsconspiracy.biz. There's a link there for pre-ordering and ordering stuff, but there'll be a link in the description below if you want to get that shirt. If you want to grab actually that shirt, you can contact Ryan at comicsconspiracy.biz and go through there and order the metal shirt. I'm sure they are still available. I'm super excited to get it because I'm loving metal. So, well, that's it for what I took home. Now we have the read list. I will preface this by some legacy titles came out. I did not pick up any of them. None of the lenticular covers. I have no lenticular covers this week. I am burnt out on the non-event thing, marketing gimmick campaign that Legacy is, and so I'm tired. Like, I did not pick up Jean Grey. I did not pick up what else came out that was lenticular. America. No, I'm not gonna try these. I didn't try them before. It's just continuing a story or finishing a story, or it's not significant enough for me to give two shits. So the lenticular covers did not improve. If you were on here to see if they looked any better, they don't. And the November orders are going to be far less than what the October order numbers were. But let's get right to the read list. So first up is The Amazing Spider-Man number 790. I did read the Legacy issue, and it was okay. So I'm going to give Amazing Spider-Man another try, since Peter is now down and out again instead of running his own company. So I've read this issue, and it's okay. So we'll see if I keep reading Amazing Spider-Man. But in the past, I've read it, and if it hasn't floated my fancy, I'm not really inclined to grab it. So next up is a book I really enjoyed from Garth Ennis, and that's the Punisher The Platoon miniseries. The first issue was really good. Second issue was good, so I've been really enjoying it. Makes me want to go back and read the Garth Ennis Punisher stuff that I have not read. Because there's just from what I understand, a lot of great stuff out of that era. So hopefully I can go back and get it. It's on the list. Next up, we have Star Wars Mace Windu, Jedi of the Republic. This is number 3 of 5. I've really been enjoying the miniseries stuff that Marvel's been putting out with Star Wars. The Captain Phasma one was really good. I've been enjoying the Mace Windu one. The Han Solo one that finished up a while ago was really good. Overall, the miniseries that they've been doing have been good. There's only been a handful that have just been But overall, I think that Marvel's doing a great job with Star Wars. I'm just really curious to see where it goes with Jason Aaron no longer writing Star Wars. But we'll see. But overall, the Star Wars stuff has been really solid stuff. So if you're looking to get back into Star Wars, or you like Star Wars, check out all the Marvel stuff. It's in canon, so or the current canon. So yeah, I recommend it. Next up, we have Thanos number 12. This is apparently, I think, Lemire's last final issue. It's okay. You can definitely tell Lemire was on his outs when he was writing this. It's not as good as his other stuff. Next up, we have Weapon X number 10. We basically are seeing more of Weapon H in this. Overall, Weapon X has been okay. I've enjoyed it. So I'm going to keep going with it. Next up, we have X-Men Blue number 14. I'm reading it because of its Mojo Worldwide Part 4. It overall is crossover event with X-Men Gold. It's okay. I don't really know where it's going or what it signifies, or it's just an X-Men story. So yeah, I mean, the hype, there's not really too much hype behind it. I think it's just okay. But I don't know. We'll see. So that's it for my pull list this week. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please, you also leave your comments down in the window below. I'd like to see what you guys get. If you have any questions, also pose them there. I try to get to answering them as best I can. But feel free. That's how we can communicate. Awesome stuff. You can also listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 330, where we answer a bunch of listener questions and talk Walking Dead season 8 premiere, which was the 100th episode. So you can check it out there. Again, like usual, there'll be a link in the description below for that. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting, getting food, and other miscellaneous stuff. You also help us get product, which we then buy and enjoy, and we thank all of our Patreon backers for your support. As a Patreon backer, you also get access to interesting or some exclusive content, so be on the lookout for that stuff if you become a Patreon backer. Oh, what else do we got? You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So as usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.